Why does Santa Claus, why is he associated with reindeer? Why is he associated with elves? Why is his colors red and white? Why does he live at the North Pole? And when we look at Ded Moroz over in Russia, when we look at some of these other figures, they don't live at the North Pole. What's going on here? Why are these unique features going on? And so we're going to be diving into another possible explanation of Santa Claus and how it actually has some psychedelic relationship. And Santa Claus is related, and I think by the time I get done, I'm going to probably make this case fairly well, that Santa Claus is tied to Siberian Amanita muscaria forms of shamanism. And that's going to then account for some of these other semiotic features related to Santa Claus that have nothing to do with St. Nicholas. Now, obviously, when we're going to tie in and we're going to discuss St. Nicholas's the story of how he helped a poor man put gold coins in 3 stockings of some ladies who needed money for their dowry. So he helped out a poor man. We're going to dive into all that. We got an Orthodox article on the real Santa Claus talking about St. Nick. But then we're going to go deeper. We're going to look at all these other figures in all these other countries. And then we're really going to hammer down this Santa Claus, this Amanita muscaria.
Get ready for this one.
An example of how a very ancient folkway can be incorporated into our culture without us even realizing it, and is provided by discussing Amanita muscaria. If you go to the Encyclopedia Britannica and you look up Santa Claus, they'll tell you,
ho, ho, ho. Have you been a good little boy or girl this year? I hope that you've been a good child, because if you have, then into your stocking perhaps I will put small dainties or sugary treats. However, if you've not been a good little boy or girl, then I may find some of the darkest coal and place that also in your stocking. And believe me, when you place your stockings on and try to run with those on when you've got large chunks of coal, it is very difficult.
that it has to do with St. Nicholas, and it got started in the 11th century, and but when you look at the Santa Claus story, it's a perfect mythologium to analyze from this point of view, because look what's going on with Santa Claus. First of all, Santa Claus's colors are red and white, the colors of the Amanita muscaria, for sure. Santa Claus lives at the North Pole. What does this mean? It means that Santa Claus lives at the Axis Mundi, where Yggdrasil, the magic world ash of Welsh mythology, has taken root.
Do you say Welsh? You mean Welsh? Welsh?
Santa Claus flies. This is what shamans do. Santa Claus is the master of the reindeer, the animal most associated with the Amanita muscaria. Santa Claus is aided in his work.
And if you can change into a girl, then Amanita muscaria for my eyeliner. Because some of the gods can change. You too can change.
By troops of elves. And what is the work of Santa Claus? To build toys for children. Remember that.
I do think there's something to this. This actually is not totally crazy, because again, St. Nicholas is one thing. Santa Claus is this other thing, right? St. Nicholas ain't got nothing to do with elves, okay? But Santa do. Sometimes he do be like that, right? But not St. Nicholas. But Santa. Santa's more like Boomer Garcia, right? With a long ass beard. He's over there tripping on his vision quest. He's a little creepy too. Whoa, man. Alright. Imagine me with a long beard. Boomer Garcia. Partly inspired by Jerry Garcia, but also from a random any random non-vet. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, a little bit now, right? I was on the vision quest, and I seen Santa Claus there. I seen Santa, and I realized man, and I am you, you are me. We are all together. I realize I'm Santa. And you know, the Santa is a mushroom. He's the king of the mushrooms. He looks like a toadstool. We'll go here to watch his mythology here. You'll see Father Mushroom here from the Norse mythology. He's basically Santa Claus. Okay, he works with the elves. He's got the elves on a tight 40-hour schedule. However, he does pay a living wage. Okay, I got my disabilities over here. I can't even get a damn living wage. You know, Father Christmas over here, right? He pays a living wage. And I looked over there and I seen Father Christmas there. Father Christmas handed me a hand grenade. He said, Merry Yule. And I stuck that grenade over there in the Viet Congs, right in the middle of their camp. If it weren't for Father Christmas, I couldn't have come out of there. That's a pretty boy right there. You see all that mascara that dude had on? He didn't just have on mascara. He had Amanita mascara. I'm gonna need a mascara right now because I'm a pretty boy. At the end of this is Father Frost, who also
must be so annoying. But with 3 clicks,
who also is what Coattail's talking about. Father Frost. Oh, shut up, dude. There's Father Frost. This horrible movie, by the way, is actually based on a bunch of Norse and Rus myths. Pimp my sled. Pimp my sled. That is a pretty pimped out sled, I have to admit. But you'll notice he Father, it's like a little frozen Orthodox church. It's crazy. There we go. Anyway, you get the idea. You get the idea, right? That's Father Christmas right there.
EMT thing saying, look at this, look at this. Well, those were off-duty elves, clearly. And so here are all the motifs. And I believe that for children in our culture, that all the Christer stuff is not what Christmas is about. Christmas is about standing in front of the tree on Christmas morning with the gifts arrayed and the twinkling lights on. Well, that tree is the tree that the Amanita muscaria forms its symbiotic relationship to. It's always spruce or pine that it has a mycorrhizal relationship to. So the number of motifs relate.
Yeah, there is. I mean, there's something to this, right?
Discussing Amanita muscaria. If you go to the Encyclopedia Britannica and you look up Santa Claus, they'll tell you that it has to do with St. Nicholas and it got started in the 11th century. And but when you look at the Santa Claus story, it's a perfect mythologium to analyze from this point of view, because look what's going on with Santa Claus. First of all, Santa Claus's colors are red and white, the colors of the Amanita muscaria.
Yeah, that's the clip we just heard, so never mind. But yeah, you get the idea.